Hello guys, this is Gopi back with another video. In this video, we are going to discuss about how memory management happens in C#. So the important topic is this, and that's nothing but the garbage collection. So first and foremost, what we need to understand is, as we already know that C# runs under a managed environment. That environment is managed by CLR, which means all the memory allocation, deallocation will be handled by the CLR itself. We don't have to take care of any such kind of the things. If you are coming from C background, you have to declare or you have to assign memory, and that's your responsibility to clear that memory when you don't need that. That is kind of an unmanaged environment. So you have to take care of everything. Chances are that if you forgot to recollect that memory, then it will lead to the memory leak issue. To overcome that, they have come up with a concept called garbage collection. So this garbage collection is commonly available all over the programming languages like C#, Java, Python and many others too. This garbage collection divides the heap memory into three different sections that usually call it as generation 0, 1 and then 2. Generation 0 usually contains the objects that are short-living. That's what usually the 0th generation contains. And then first generation contains the object that are lived when garbage collects in the 0th generation. Generation 2 usually contains the object that are long-lived object. That's how the content are separated. And keep that in mind, this is all about the objects. So whenever you create any object in C# programming language, that memory allocation actually happening on the heap memory. So that heap memory only divided into three different parts, and that part is handled and managed by the garbage collection and then the CLR. Okay. The next thing is we can trigger GC manually. So GC stands for garbage collection. Of course, we do have some methods that using that method I can able to trigger the garbage collection manually to recollect all the memory that is not in use. But that is not the recommended way. That's because if you do that, you are actually interpreting the work that the GC does. So that is not recommended at all. Of course, you can do that, but that's a kind of whenever you do some kind of unmanaged work like file related operations and then some kind of C++ DL related operation. If you do something like that, then you can go for GC collect. But that too, it is usually go within the using block, but still you have a way to do the GC collect manually. Next thing is, how does garbage collection work? Let's say example, your application isn't running and all the objects are getting created as the application progress. In certain scenario, there is no memory available for the 0th generation to occupy newly created object. In that case, garbage collection will trigger. So what does this garbage collection does is, this garbage collection scan the entire application, the entire memory space of the 0th generation. Once its scan is done right, it prepares a tree-like structure. What are all the objects that currently in use? That is the tree-like structure contains. Apart from that, if it has any other object, then those are all the objects that are waste, which means that occupy the memory but that doesn't use in anywhere in the application. Once the tree-like structure preparation is completed, garbage collection delete all those unused objects and then recollect those memory. Chances are that some of the object present in between two using object. So in that case, how garbage collection work is, once the recollect of the memory happens, garbage collection do compacting the memory spaces so that it will have all the free memory in one side, all the occupied memory in the another side. 0th generations receives more number of garbage collection happens because 0th generation is the area where all the short living objects are placed. Once you create an object, it will go to the 0th generation for sure. Since it is more widely used, it need more garbage collection to be happened so that it have enough space to hold the object that are newly going to create. What happened to the object that are survived when garbage collection happen on the 0th generation? Those objects are getting moved to the first generation because garbage collection thinks that those are all the long living object. When garbage collection runs in first generation, if the object escapes from garbage collection, then obviously that object will also get moved to the second generation. Is there any way to place the object directly to the first generation, which is nothing but second generation? Yes, we have a way. Whenever you create any singleton object, whenever you create any static classes, in that case, objects are getting placed directly in the second generation, which going to live for the entire lifetime of the application. And those objects are not disturbed by the garbage collection at all. That's all about the garbage collection work in C#. So let's proceed further and we'll look at into other topics in the C#. Till then, bye, take care.